In the quest to uncover ancient histories, some countries rely on studying monuments, but Ireland faces challenges in revealing its distant past. One burial ground that has intrigued archaeologists for generations is Nring, a giant mound in a windswept and rocky expanse, often dubbed Ireland's Valley of the Kings. This burial site, dating back around 7,000 years, holds deep chambers with human remains and is associated with gods, aligning with astral bodies. In 2021, Dr. Daniel Bradley and Laura Cassidy from Trinity College utilized cutting-edge technology to decode Nring's mysteries. The burial site, blending into the Irish countryside, has been known for centuries, with some stones borrowed for local homes. The Trinity researchers embarked on a genetic analysis of Nring, measuring 250 feet in diameter and 40 feet high, indicating the significant feat of Stone Age engineering. They speculated that those connected to the site were socially prominent. Buried there must have been legendary, possibly representing Irish royalty. The main underground chamber of Nring, illuminated by a skylight during the winter solstice, is a testament to the architect's advanced achievements. The monument, comprising over 200,000 tons of stone, clay, wood, and earth, suggests the work of an elite class or an important family. The Trinity researchers, aiming to uncover Ireland's early civilization, collected DNA samples from bones in the main chamber. Astonishingly, they discovered genetic similarities indicating possible sibling relationships, possibly the result of powerful families consolidating power through interfamily marriages. The findings aligned with Irish folklore and historical records, mentioning a king named Bressil who had a relationship with his sister and died near Nring. The tomb's Irish pharaoh had traces of indigenous genes, hinting at their origins from elsewhere, potentially shedding light on early human migration patterns that shaped Europe. However, critiques from experts like David Reich emphasized gaps in Nring's burial timelines, complicating narratives about Irish evolution. As researchers continue to unravel Ireland's past, discoveries at Nring and other sites offer valuable leads. Jack Conway, a turf cutter, stumbled upon something mysterious while working on the Emla Bog in Northern Ireland. His shovel hit an object harder than peat, unearthing something that hadn't seen daylight for thousands of years, adding another layer to Ireland's rich archaeological tapestry. The region that eventually transformed into the bogs had once served as the convergence point for three distinct ancient kingdoms, believed to possess supernatural powers reminiscent of scenes from high fantasy movies. The mystical allure of the land drew people in large numbers to the bogs, where they felt a deep spiritual connection. Many would come to bury offerings as a gesture of seeking divine protection. Despite the intention that these sacrifices remain undisturbed, the bogs revealed an unexpected property discovered centuries later. The bogs, characterized by low temperatures, high acidity, and minimal oxygen, exhibited an exceptional ability to preserve anything buried within them. Over time, explorers uncovered a wealth of well-preserved artifacts from Irish peat bogs, including tools, coins, jewelry, and ancient curiosities, all remarkably intact due to the bog's ability to prevent decomposition. The preservative qualities of the bogs, however, also served a more ominous purpose, adding an element of concern to Jack's initial discovery. The Emla Bog's marshy depths, proficient at mummifying bodies, yielded several ancient corpses intentionally placed at the bottom. Fortunately, Jack's find turned out not to be a body, but rather a large, oddly shaped rock with a distinctive odor. Described as reminiscent of a strong, though not unpleasant, cheese, the chunk buried 12 feet into the bog prompted Jack to involve officials from the Cavan County Museum. After a thorough examination, including carbon dating, the officials confirmed Jack's discovery, a 2,000-year-old lump of butter. Surprisingly, the butter remained technically edible due to the exceptional preservation in the bog. This raised the question, why would such effort be invested in burying a condiment? In medieval times, butter was a luxury item used for paying taxes and rent, and lacking common preservatives like salt, the bog's natural freezing conditions made them an ideal storage solution. The discovery of hundreds of lumps of well-preserved hard butter in containers made of animal bladders or wood shed light on ancient practices. Despite the unpleasant smell associated with ancient bog butter, some individuals dared to taste it. Andrew Zimmer even sampled a 3,000-year-old lump on his show, Bizarre Foods, describing the taste as funky with a moldy finish. The tradition of tasting ancient bog butter is gaining traction, with an Irish elementary school conducting taste tests and even a local man creating his own bog butter, buried for a year to develop an earthy flavor. This peculiar ancient tradition extends beyond bogs, as evidenced by the discovery of preserved cheese in the sunken Goliath ship Cronin. Found at the bottom of the ocean after 300 years, the ship contained various artifacts, including firearms, musical instruments, gold and silver coins, and a jar of well-preserved cheese. Displayed in a museum, these artifacts continue to unveil intriguing aspects of history through ongoing exploration. Brian retrieved the buried butter after a year of aging in the Irish countryside. The final product appeared more appetizing than any of the ancient ones unearthed. According to Brian, it possessed an earthy flavor he enjoyed when used in making eggs or drizzling it on top of popcorn. He even extended invitations to his neighbors to share in the experience. Despite the unlikelihood of the bog butter trend catching on widely, numerous discoveries of such butter continue to be made. Some pieces can be viewed in Irish museums, although one might be disappointed if expecting a taste. These aren't the only instances where old foodstuffs have been uncovered. Following a maritime battle in 1676, the Goliath ship, the Cronin, peacefully rested at the ocean's bottom for 300 years. In 1980, Anders Franzen, an amateur researcher, discovered the shipwreck's location. Sponsored by the Swedish government, yearly archaeological dives were undertaken to collect lost artifacts. The dive teams found old firearms, musical instruments such as violins and trumpets, an abundance of gold and silver coins, a gold ring, and a wooden plaque with the ship's name carved into it. Among these discoveries, one stood out. In the mud, a heavy black tin jar was found, initially puzzling the researchers. Upon prying open the can, a pungent smell, described as a mix of yeast and rancid cheese, overwhelmed them. It turned out to be some kind of preserved cheese product. In the era when the Cronin was built, cheese symbolized status, distinguishing the rich from the poor. However, in this case, the cheese was well past its prime. The Cronin cheese, along with other findings, is displayed in a museum. Since the ship's discovery in 1980, over 30,000 artifacts have been collected by diving teams, and exploration continues, leaving open the possibility of finding more treasures in unexplored nooks and crannies. Subscribe for more updates.